Bro, we are you know that that Drake song, I'm on one? He was like, I ain't went this hard since I was 18. Hey, like, because I think that was like senior year of high school when we did the fashion show. And then that was like the big bang leaving, you know what I'm saying? But
monumental.
Yeah.
Wait, what class was you?
2013. So, yeah, senior year 2013.
So, but you was in the fashion show that my sister graduated 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So her class,
the one in NC State.
Who?
The fashion show, the Southeast fashion show.
The Southeast joint, but y'all was at school in the amphitheater. I mean,
in the theater at school, right? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah,
that
real
year.
quick. Now, how it happened was, we Southeast always did a fashion show. Miss Kelly, she used to come in. Love her to death. She's super cool. But she would come in and do the fashion show. We would have tryouts and everything like that. So I think it was sophomore year, tried out, I think. And when we did it, then junior year we did it. This is your sister's senior year because 2012 was senior year. I think that junior year, though, we did it at NC State.
Mm-hmm. Y'all had a big deal about it because I was a freshman. My sister was a junior at the time, and I know it was a big deal.
I remember that.
Yeah,
like that was at school. Now,
yeah.
The state joint. I'm not
like
sure.
2 places. I remember we went to the one at school.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I know is that when we did it,
came out type shit.
Oh yeah. So that one was at Southeast.
Yeah.
That one was at Southeast. But I'm trying to think because that was your sister junior year.
Yeah, that was her.
Exactly.
Junior.
So that was sophomore year. That was the first one I did. That was the first one I did at Southeast. And then junior year, your sister's senior year, we did the fashion show at NC State.
Okay.
That year, I was first really starting to FBN existed sophomore year, but like we were just really trying to get our foot in the ground with like making clothes. Didn't know how to do none of that, like just figuring out. But I'm making everything myself at that point. And then so junior year comes, we're doing the show at NC State. I talked to Miss Kelly. I'm like, Miss Kelly, can I put some of my clothes in the fashion show? She like, yeah, you can just design the whole men's scene. So I'm like. And it was like all the homies that were in the show, they already rock with the brand. So they like, all right, bet you about to design me something, we lit. So did that. Did the show at NC State. And then senior year is coming along. So then senior year, I'm like, yo, we about to really turn it up. Senior year comes in, Miss Kelly comes to do the show. With I think it's like MSCN. It was with a collaboration with like Dr. Lee, Mr. Lee. Remember him? Okay. So like, yeah. We were doing it, but people were just playing around, coming late to practice, goofing off. So tell me why she canceled it. Like she dubbed the show. She's like, bet y'all want to play? Not take it serious. I'm not about to be coming from Durham 3 times a week after school, going through traffic.
Sophomore year?
This is senior year.
This your senior
year? Sophomore year it was racks on racks at the school. Junior year is NC State.
Okay.
And then so senior year coming.
It was coming back to the East?
Yeah. Senior year is coming and she cancels the show. So now we like, yo, we're not having a Southeast fashion show this year. Yeah. So then I'm like, I know exactly what to do. We had senior projects. So I'm like, all right, I need a product. I'm going to let my senior project be Fly by Nature. The product can be the fashion show. Mm-hmm. So I wrote a letter to the principal explaining what I was trying to do. Seeing if he would let me do it. I already kind of had it in though because the principal Schwenker, he really liked the performing arts. Hey, that was my guy. He was cool, man. He was cool.
He was
yo.
He was with it. You know he was with it.
Boy, he let me graduate in the last.
Yeah, yo,
like,
because I was doing chorus then, and I was doing theater heavy. Like all 4 years I did theater, all like 3 years I did chorus. So he already knew who I was. He was already coming to these things. So when I presented that idea, it was like, yeah, for sure. So that kind of gave me like the ins and outs to really just build the brand in school during school time without getting in trouble. Because whenever I wanted to, or whenever I needed to, I would just ask my teacher at the time, whatever class I was in, like, hey, I need to do something for my grad project.
Right.
So it was crazy. Like we was like in school with like no adult supervision, bro. Like they really trusted us, which is crazy. We took it serious, but like they come in to unlock the door, then they would leave, let us be there all day on a Saturday in the gym, in the theater. But like everybody was good to go. We were grown by then, like seniors, which is young looking at us now.
A
But
lot of free reign going on. I was like, my sister was into it heavy when we first got there, my freshman year, her junior year. And I just remember going. So Racks on Racks is like a statement.
Yeah, that was crazy. Nah, KL killed that joint. KL killed that joint.
That was my first time seeing niggas. You feel me? Like, so yeah, I was like, okay, I might actually fuck with this school.
Yeah. Southeast, I always say, was like HBCU.
Yeah,
like from the leadership organizations that made it seem like fraternities and sororities to the fashion, like. So when we went to going from like Southeast to like A&T, it wasn't really that much of a culture switch. It was more just so on a bigger scale.
Yeah. Bigger scale.
Like
we all
was already doing that shit.
We was already, and you could. It was funny because when you left, I could tell the people that didn't do much in their hometowns, because those were the people that felt like they had to do everything all the time. Like they didn't experience nothing, so they trying to take it all in.
So how did that Kappa League, all that shit, how did that fucking work?
What you mean? Yo,
did you ever think about it? Like, how's that going to exist in a high school?
Like
is that legal?
But yeah, like so we never like we never got hazed. It was never nothing like hazing. It was all mental strength. You know what I'm saying? It was just mental strength, information. A lot of that stuff though really does still apply. That's the crazy thing. Like with my brother being in high school now and seeing how they don't have something like Kappa League, it just hits me that, all right, I was lucky enough to have the influence of my father, but some guys, that was the only time they got to see another black man in a shirt and tie that wasn't a teacher. But and that was still cool, and that was still handling their business, that was still talk to women, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a stand-up guy.
It's important.
Yeah, like that was inspiring. I'm still cool with multiple guys that, you know what I'm saying, did the organization, but I think it was just the leadership. It could have been any fraternity that could have made a leadership organization. It wasn't just the fact that it was Kappa, because people in Kappa League doesn't mean they went on to become Kappas after. Some did, some didn't.
And there was a few of them. I think Dajé was in the Sigma one.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
What? Hey, I'm really
Oh god,
this was a new guy.
No, I had homies in all of them though. It's fun, but it's funny how just like it just kind of mocked the similarities of college. The band that was kind of clicked up with Sigma. Like Theta was a little mixed. Like
that's what I know.
That's
it was a lot of that. I was in band for a short spell, so I was like, okay, I know who these niggas are.
And moving past that, I just feel like so many of us like went on to be artistic in our own way, like from the East, and like you could just go down the line from like everybody you see here to just countless others just were inspired by that community and that environment.
Anybody who had a niche, I would
something.
say, like people who was in fashion, people who was in music, the K9 News, that whole little production. You feel me? Like if you had a niche or something you was real meticulous about, I feel like they found their way into some shit.
Right. I don't think I would have even started the brand if I would have went to a different high school, because it was just like a beautiful storm the way it happened, just being at Southeast, because the culture of Southeast at that time, like going into high school in like 2009, set the tone for the need to have the brand of Fly by Nature. Because back then, bro, if you didn't wear like Polo, if you didn't wear like Levi's, if you didn't wear like New Balances, Polo boots, Sperry's, like if you didn't have that type of thing going on, bro, you just weren't it. Like, and it wasn't like how I can go to Southeast today and like maybe high schools in general in the area, and you just see all types of kids doing all types of things. Bro, it was a certain time that if you were different, you was getting picked on.
Yeah,
like you would look like that whole different thing was not the thing. Like this is before even before the Pride movement, all of that stuff, bro, made a difference. So that's why, sidebar, at that time Kanye was such a pioneer because it wasn't all these different. You know what I'm saying? Different is a trend now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like entrepreneurship is a trend now. Yeah. Like it was to the point where it was still a high school era where kids was really still getting picked on.
Right.
Right. You're not really gonna get away with too much of that nowadays, in my opinion, because of all this stuff, social media. When I got into high school, Instagram didn't exist yet. Yeah. So, all right. That's a crazy time though, right there. Like at the time that social media started, you know, you remember Temple Run.
Yeah,
iPhones didn't exist when I first went into high school. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going around the exact day I remember, bro. I would have to say that the brand started is my style. Me and Rod Luck, we was coming from Carnage. We was already into fashion, and me and Rod especially had doing the fashion shows in middle school. We was on that retro wave, trying to find retro Jordans, the glasses with the no lens, the checkered scarves, you know what I'm saying? That whole era, that whole era. So okay, so graphic tees, jerking. We was jerking before. Yeah, Side note,
he had a group. Sure.
I had a group too, bro. Shout out Team Boomerang. No cap, but we were jerking. That sounds weird. But we were dancing, bro. Hey, listen. But listen, we were dancing, bro. We were dancing before the brand, though. So, getting into high school, when we first started high school, remember, Southeast starts in the summer. It's hot. It's hot. Yo, it's hot that whole week of school, bro. I remember.
Was it July for real?
Yeah, it was July. It was summer. Luck's birthday will always be that first Friday in school. Yeah. So then we started dancing. I started a group. It was a couple friends. We was doing videos. I was editing and cutting the videos. This is before That's why I'm looking at TikTok now. This is just video editing, bro.
So we used to have to do it the wrong way.
I'm talking about bringing my dad's camcorder to school and making sure I put it back before he noticed.
Oh God,
it was crazy. But red camcorder, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
red cam. But did that. But what I was seeing with jerking was that it was all about influence. It's all about ambition. People was already wanting to be a part of the group. People was trying to try out, wanting to be in videos and just be a part of something. So I realized that you can create a movement with anything.
Any fucking thing.
If you create something that's bigger than you, something that people want to be a part of,
right?
That's how you have longevity. That's how you have impact. That's how you really make a difference because you came this way. I think people be too stuck on trying to get people to follow them and create a fan base when you really don't even have the stain to do that.
Yeah.
I be seeing I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? You haven't even done it. What have you done to make people want to follow you?
Yeah.
People be self-entitled.
Yeah.
Proclaim to feel yo, I should be here. You ain't did none of the work.
You didn't do nothing.
Nothing.
And it's even if you do something, I look at it I haven't done enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't done enough to really be okay, I want to have a master class and I'm charging $1,000 per client, but I'm going to show you how to scale your brand to $100K because I've done it.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? People will try to sell people on information, but you haven't proven that your theory works yet.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not really worried about right now trying to get people to follow me. I'm just trying to do something that's worth following.
So you're saying it's easier to get people to follow a movement versus following you or following what you got going on. It's more so they're following the movement.
People follow what they can see, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ain't putting in on work, you think you about to just pop out of nowhere and people just
right.
Nah, but people take heed to shit that look like it's picking up traction.
Right. Yeah. So it's funny because that first semester, first half a year of high school, it wasn't nothing. Fly by Nature didn't exist. We were just dancing. That kind of kind of died out. You know what I'm saying? But even though I look at it now and I joke with my friends like, yo, we kept doing that joint, we probably could have monetized it and got on. But that's with anything. Like I was just saying, consistency is going to take you wherever you need to go with anything you're trying to do.
I tell this nigga all the time, bro, we used to post music on MySpace and shit from like recordings, went to SoundCloud, getting 100,000s of views on tracks before niggas was even knowing about streaming, what streaming was. And had niggas kept doing that, my YouTube go back and show you, bro, I was getting thousands of views on just bullshit songs like back then. And had I just kept doing that,
you don't know where you would be. I already tell people we all are master coders, because if you remember when we had MySpace, were we not coding to edit our profile? Like, but is that not what these tech companies in Silicon Valley are paying people six figures to do?
I tell people all the time, like, our generation, we're the bridge. We're the bridge between the Gen Zs that's coming up and what's ahead of us. So we experienced that and not even knew like what we were doing. We didn't know that we were coding. We didn't know that we had experience in all these different fields just from growing up in it. Right. You know, we didn't have it before, but we grew up in it and learned it and mastered it.
When I was entering, like, put it in perspective, when I was in kindergarten, we had the audiobooks, the cassettes where you could listen to the person read it. Leaving 12th grade, you have audiobooks. Yeah. On the iPhone, on a smartphone. You see what I'm saying? So, that, like, being like this, our generation, it's a really special place. Yeah. December ends. I know I keep trying to get through this damn story. I got you. I'm walking around. I'm different though. I'm dressing different. We was dressing different because we was dancing, but then like it was just like, okay, just coming more into our own style. I always took pride in being different. Yeah. That's just, I can't help it. That's what it is. So I was wearing like, I don't even remember what I was wearing, bro. It had to be like it either had to be like a tie or a bow tie, because that was my steez. Like, that was my steez for sure. Yo, so like, that's just with the bow tie. Yeah, bro, like the bow tie, the rolled up
but it was pants. Crisp. Like you kept it fresh, so bro, it was like I couldn't even be mad. Like all right, you got it.
People didn't even know like that really came from wanting to have clothes and stuff, trying to get my parents to buy me clothes, and my parents like, I'm not buying you the latest trend just for you to not want it in a couple weeks because a new trend is out. Like, we're gonna get you clothes that you can wear to church and you can wear to school so they can last. So instead of like a Hollister graphic tee, I might just get a polo shirt. Yeah. And it's like, and then I'm not talking Ralph Lauren. I'm just talking about a collar, just a collar shirt. Base. Yeah. So it's like, all right, what are you gonna do with that as a kid? I'm like, I'm about to still dress it up and make it fly. Put my own little, you know what I'm saying, into it. So that's how that preppy style kind of came along. I'm doing that at Southeast, but it wasn't Southeast preppy. It wasn't the Levi's and the trendy preppy. So one time after school, I got my headphones in. You ever had your headphones in, but nothing happened to be playing. Right. So to the outside looking in, you're zoned out. Yeah. But it's no music. You can hear everything. So I walk past these upperclassmen, and then they just are weak. And then they just start laughing, talking about like, hey, what little bro got on? Like, literally, bro. So,
I heard that so many times.
So I'm like, yo, I'm not about to say nothing, though. Yeah. Because, I mean, I'm young. I'm an underclassman. Yo, people were huge back then. Like, bro, students were, bro, like, the seniors when we were freshmen, bro, would look like grown men.
Grown ass adults.
Yeah, so I'm like, bro.
The last of the 6'5", 16-year-olds.
Yeah, like these dudes is big. So I'm like,
it was different. Everybody banging.
Right, I'm like, you got
niggas got beards and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
All right, I'm like, you got it, bro. But in my head, that really bothered me because I'm like, see, bro, this is why people don't want to be themselves in the first place, because as soon as they step outside of the box of the norm and do them, it's people that make them feel crazy for that. And clothes is really just the surface of that. Like, it starts with clothes, then it gets into signing up for the classes that other people want to take. You end up going to schools that other people want to go to. Next thing you know, you're in a career field, working a job, and you're living a life that's not even the one that you're supposed to be living. Yeah. For what? That robs, like, I just heard this thing and it was like, when you try to be somebody else, two people are missing because you can never be them. Yeah. And then you're not even being yourself. So who are you being? Yeah. Like that's a weird space to be in, and we all struggle with that growing up because you're trying to find yourself and figure out who you
Status
are.
quo.
And all these things have these influence on you. But what I realized, even then in high school, like 14, 15, it was like, yo, we're all one of ones. So us just being ourselves, there's nothing more flyer than you can be because nobody can really duplicate that. Nobody can do that, bro. So it's like, all right, well, I'm just being fly within my own nature. Like, I'm just being myself. Just fly within my own nature. Just fly. With
FBN.
Right, so then it's fly by nature. Like,
FBN shit.
Bro, it literally happened that organic.